Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will try to discuss about the general characteristics and habitat of algae without elaborating these things. So let's start the topics. Firstly, we are discussing about the general characteristics of algae. Here we see algae are eukaryotic organisms. It means that algae contain the nucleus which is oil organized and oil planet, and their other organelles is also oil organized. So let's talk about the next one. They can be multicellular or unicellular. Multicellular means the organism which is actually consists more than one cell, whereas unicellular means it's actually consists only a single cell, and the all activities of a cell is actually happened within this single cell. The next one is algal cell wall. Algae is actually surrounded by a two-layered cell wall, and this is composed of cellulose. Here cellulose is a polysaccharide which is made by beta D glucose molecules, and this glucose molecules is linked by beta D glycosidic bond. Algae are autotrophic. Here autotrophic means algae never depend other animals or plants for their food. Actually they are able to make their own food. Algae are found where there is adequate moisture. Actually algae love moisture. Where moisture is exist, algae can be grow there easily. So it's mean that reproduce by asexual and sexual forms. Actually algae reproduce by three types of forms. Here I mention only two, asexual and sexual forms. By asexual forms, algae actually reproduce by forming spore, and in sexual forms, algae actually reproduce by forming zygote. In this slide, the first one is chlorophyll and other pigments are present. Actually, algae contain chlorophyll, which helps them to the process photosynthesis, and they can able to make their own food. So algae is also a photosynthetic organism. They have no roots, stems or leaves. Actually algae looks like a thallus structure. They have no identical roots, stems or leaves. The next one is storage form of food, starch. Actually algae store their food by forming starch. What is starch? Starch is also a polysaccharide like cellulose, but starch is a storage polysaccharide, whereas cellulose is a structural polysaccharide. And in this term, starch is alpha D glucose polysaccharide, but cellulose is beta D glucose polysaccharide. I think you get this. Let's discuss our next topic, habitat of algae. Here the first one is aquatic algae. The algae are mainly aquatic because algae love moisture and the water has huge quantity of moisture, so they are dominantly aquatic. There are two types of aquatic algae. First one is freshwater algae. So what is freshwater? Actually freshwater contains little amount of salt, and they are also known as a sweet water. Here I give two examples of freshwater algae. One is Spirogyra and the another one is nostoc. Let's talk about the next one, marine water algae. Marine water means the ocean water which has actually a highly concentration of salt. Here I also give two examples of marine water algae. One is sargassum and the another one is laminaria. Let's talk about terrestrial algae. Many algae are found on or beneath the moist soil surface in the form of scum or green mat. Actually, terrestrial algae is so common, and usually we find this in soil surface. It looks like a scum or green mat. Chlorella and euglena are terrestrial algae. Another one is halophytic algae. What the means of halophyte? Halophyte means which are able to occur or grow in high concentration of salt. So which algae actually occur in high concentration of salt? They are known as halophytic algae. Chlamydomonas is a halophytic algae. Let's talk about the next slide. Here the first one is lithophytic algae. So what is the meaning of lithophyte? Lithophyte actually means the rocks and stones. Which rocks and stones contain little bit of moisture, algae can able to grow them. So lithophytic algae are living moisture rocks and stones. Enteromorpha is such a lithophytic algae. The next one is parasitic algae. They occur on other plants or animals. Actually they are responsible for disease. Cephaloras is such a parasitic algae. And the last one and most important one is symbiotic algae. Some algae make a symbiotic relationship with fungi. This association is known as lichen. Actually, lichen can be able to grow every environment. Chlorophyce and cyanophytes such as symbiotic algae which make association with fungi. Thanks for watching the video. I will try to discuss about reproduction of algae in my next video. So, goodbye.